Are you still living or do you have property here in Jacksonville?
So, you know, as you look at state law, back in 2013, state law changed. There's multiple sheriffs around the state that do not live in the county in which they serve. And so currently I do not live in Jacksonville.
There have been questions whether this violates the city's charter. We took those concerns to the city attorney, Jason Teal. Over the weekend, he sent us this response saying he will provide an opinion directly to City Council President Sam Newby. On Your Side's Kaylee Tracy was the only reporter to have a one-on-one interview with the sheriff last week. Today, she went back to get more answers about living in Nassau County.
I don't see any scenario where I resign.
Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams says he has no plans to leave his role as sheriff, despite moving to Nassau County last year.
I'm very aware of the city charter. I think that, you know, the city feels like they may have a solid position. I know we feel like we have a solid position.
The charter states if the sheriff should, quote, remove his residence from Duval County during his term of office, the office of sheriff shall become vacant. Williams says he's protected because in 2010, the Florida legislature repealed a law requiring sheriffs to live in the county they serve. Attorney Neil Henrichsen says the charter trumps what state law says.
I don't think that change makes any difference for the sheriff of Duval County. The city of Jacksonville is clear in its charter that the sheriff must maintain residence in the city of Jacksonville. Limits, if they don't, they're out of office. And so he's unlawfully been in office.
State election officials say sheriffs have to be county residents when they take office, but it also says counties can mandate their own residency requirements.
Kaylee, how did the mayor find out about the sheriff's move?
Well, Anthony, the mayor says he got a call from Sheriff Mike Williams shortly after we interviewed him last week, and we asked him where he currently lives. Curry says that was the first he had heard the Jacksonville sheriff didn't live in Jacksonville.
I don't expect anyone to tell me in government if and when they're moving. Mayor
Lenny Curry saying it doesn't bother him that he didn't know sooner that Sheriff Mike Williams moved out of Duval County.
Look, what people do in the no, I don't. Doesn't matter to me. If someone tells me when they move or where they move, and I wasn't aware of the residency requirement.
According to the Supervisor of Elections Office, the sheriff also changed his voter registration to Nassau County from Duval Friday, that a day after our interview.
Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams has announced that he is retiring effective June 10th.
He recently came under fire for not living in the city in which he serves. Now, the sheriff releasing his retirement resignation letter a short time ago, saying in part in an email, quote, after some consideration, I have decided that a court battle over my residency would not be good for our community. That being said, I've decided to retire on June 10th, end quote.
Kaylee, you've been making many phone calls within the past hour or so. We know this resignation comes on the same day the city attorney was expected to rule on whether the sheriff was violating the city's charter. And we have some new news just in concerning Sam Newby. If you can clarify what's going on.
Sure, Keith. I just got off the phone with City Council President Sam Newby. He is the person who actually requested that legal binding opinion that we were supposed to hear today from the Office of the General Counsel at 2 p.m. He says he requested that because he wanted to know whether or not the sheriff moving out of Duval County meant that that was a vacancy in the sheriff's seat, as it is stated in the city charter. Now he says that he has rescinded that request from the Office of the General Counsel. He says he does not need that opinion anymore because the sheriff has said he will retire, meaning there is a vacancy. Sir, were you aware that the sheriff had moved last year?
I knew for a short period of time. I don't know that exact date, but now as the acting undersheriff for a short period of time, I'm aware of a residency requirement. I believe this charter requirement is a very obscure. I haven't even read it myself.
I wish him fair winds and following seas as he, I guess, will be a Nassau County resident, and it just it's kind of it's a beautiful place.
Keeping them off the street.
New tonight, Governor Ron DeSantis wishing Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams well in his retirement and announcing that he is appointing Under Sheriff Pat Ivey to replace him. This following Sheriff Williams' decision to resign after it emerged that he moved out of Duval County last year, which violates the city charter.